The dimming of the compass. Lumingford was a town of soft, perpetual dawn, but today the light was sickly. The vast central celestial compass, which had guided creation in their corner of the world since time immemorial, was fading. Its central beacon, usually a pillar of vibrant, hopeful light, was a mere amber flicker. Algernon, young and full of boundless creative energy, stood before it with his friend. Corrine. Algernon felt a deep, instinctive pang of responsibility. The town was wrong, and he felt compelled to fix it. "I can't just weave a new light," Algernon murmured, touching the cool, dull bronze of the compass face. "It's not broken, it's hollow." Corrine, whose sight often pierced beyond the visible, placed a steady hand on his shoulder. "I see a place, Algernon, a tangled path where the missing light is trapped. It's too complex for raw power." Suddenly, a shimmer of gold light appeared, condensing into Luminette the rune weaver, a small, elderly rat with eyes that glowed like twin constellations. "Hollow indeed, young Algernon," Luminette squeaked, his voice surprisingly deep and resonant. "The compass requires a spark of focused creation to reignite an otherworldly presence. The Riven Whisper has caused this failing. This demonic agent feeds on confusion and has not merely stolen the power, but distorted the compass's true direction and its very source of power, hiding the spark within the crystal maze, a place of optical deception." Luminette pointed a tiny, glowing paw toward the edge of town, where crystalline structures now twisted into a bewildering, affected labyrinth. "To win, you must not use strength, but ingenuity, the skill to solve problems in new, unexpected ways."
Algernon and Corrine entered the maze. The walls refracted light endlessly, creating dizzying false exits. Corrine, however, was their true compass. "Turn left here, Algernon," she'd instruct, guiding him past a corridor that seemed to stretch into infinity, yet was only 10 feet long. The illusion tries to make you follow patterns, but the true path is always the most unexpected. Algernon looked at the endless shimmer and felt a chilling certainty. If it weren't for Corrine's unwavering sight, he would be completely lost, trapped in an illusion. He knew with a sudden clarity that in this world of subtle darkness, he would not have known what to do without her by his side. They reached the maze's core, a small circular chamber. In the center, a dark, viscous shadow pulsed, and behind it, encased in a simple but impossibly strong cage, was the flickering spark, the missing light. The Riven Whisper spoke, its voice a monotonous drone. "You cannot fight me, wielder of creation. I am the lack of will, I am the end of imagination. I am the most obvious, impassable wall." Algernon tried to push the cage, tried to weave a simple light rune to scare the Whisper, but his creations fell flat. The problem was not the cage, it was the Whisper's nature. It thrived on predictability and deception. "It wants me to fight or brute force the cage," Algernon realized aloud. He looked at the room, the crystal walls, a small patch of damp earth, and 3 small, dull rocks left by the Whisper. Corrine, seeing his frustration, whispered, "What if you don't fight the wall? What if you change the key to the cage?" Algernon looked at the rocks and the damp earth. He took a handful of the earth and mixed it with a drop of water from his flask, creating a crude, thick mud. He then began to use the mud and the dull rocks to quickly sculpt a mirrored sphere on the floor. It was a terrible, sloppy creation, but it was new. As he placed the 3rd rock, the sphere acted like a lens, catching the diffused light from the maze walls and focusing it directly onto the shadow. The Riven Whisper recoiled, not from the power of the light, but from the ingenuity of the solution. It was a creative act designed not to destroy, but to bypass. It was an unexpected, unpredictable maneuver using worthless materials. The Riven Whisper shrieked and dissolved into smoke, freeing the spark. Algernon carefully collected the glowing spark back at the compass. He worked with Luminette, weaving the spark into the celestial compass. The dull amber flared into a blinding, magnificent, steady blue light. The town of Lumingford sighed in relief, the dawn restored. Luminette looked up at Algernon, his form pulsing with golden light. The task is complete. We have learned the value and virtue of ingenuity. Before Algernon could speak, Luminette dissolved into a cloud of shimmering gold dust. The dust swirled around Algernon's outstretched hand and instantly coalesced into a permanent, glowing gold sigil mark of ingenuity on his palm, sealing the lesson within him. Later, Algernon and Corrine sat together on the hillside, overlooking Lumingford below them. The celestial compass shone with brilliant, steady blue light, casting a glow of safety and purpose across the land. Algernon smiled, resting his chin on his knees. "Tomorrow brings a new day with a new adventure," he said softly, turning to Corrine. "Thank you, Corrine, for always being by my side."
Ingenuity. The skill to solve problems in new, unexpected ways. When the strong path fails and the light does not show, the answer is never where the current flows. The mind's quick twist, the unexpected key. New creation blooms from ingenuity.